guys, welcome back to my channel. I am back with another review, so if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. A lot went down in this episode, so let's just get right into this review. Suki ends up inviting some of the ladies to one of her events, and she seems to be in good spirits despite the fact that she got into a really heated back and forth with Super Cindy in the previous episode. During the interview that Suki did with Super Cindy kept asking her questions about all the raunchy things that she's done in her past, and to be fair, Suki gets upset anytime anyone brings up the things that she's done in the past that she's not proud of, but at the end of the day, I do think that she handled that situation wrong. You can't flip out on people every single time they do or say something that you don't like. She needs to learn how to communicate better, and I think that she was wrong in that situation. She was snatching papers out of Super Cindy's hand. She was calling her names. I think that she was doing way too much when Cindy was really just doing her job. But I do think that Suki is entitled to feel the way that she feels. I just think that she needs to learn how to communicate better. Zoe ends up showing up to Suki event to support her, and they start having a conversation about the song that they made together. Apparently they made a song together, but Zoe really wants to film the music video, but every time she reaches out to Suki doesn't answer any of her phone calls or any of her messages, and that's really starting to frustrate Zoe because she's feeling like, Suki is not communicating with her effectively. I'm starting to think that Suki has communication issues with everybody at this point because she seems to be getting into it with everybody, and she seems to not be communicating effectively with Zoe either. If Zoe is supposed to be your friend and you guys did a song together, she can easily tell Zoe when she's available to do the music video, or tell her that you just don't want to do the music video at all. Shay ends up showing up to Suki event as well, and there was obviously some awkwardness between her and Amara because in the previous episode, Shay decided that she wanted Vonshae and Amara to make up with each other and talk out their issues, and that didn't end up happening because Vonshae just wanted to fight Amara, and so she threw a drink in Amara's face. She didn't just throw a drink, she threw the entire glass at Amara's face, so Amara ended up throwing an entire plate of food at her, and then it turned into this huge fight, and the conversation really didn't go anywhere. So now Amara is starting to feel some type of way about Shay because not only is Shay hanging out with Vonshae, who keeps attacking her when her and Shay are supposed to be friends, but at the same time she's starting to think that, Shay set her up, because if she knows that Vonshae attacks Amara every time they see each other, why would you try to get them together to have a conversation? And this is why I said a few episodes ago that I don't think that Shay should involve herself because she's going to end up looking like the messy one in the situation, a situation that she didn't have to be a part of at all. And I can completely understand why Amara doesn't want to be friends with Vonshae anymore. She doesn't even want to work out the friendship because at the end of the day, how many times is she going to try to work things out with Vonshae and Vonshae keep trying to attack her physically? I wouldn't want to be anywhere around this girl either. And on top of that, at Suki event, Shay ended up asking Amara if they can have a one-on-one conversation, and the conversation really wasn't going anywhere because they were just yelling at each other, and I feel like Shay was making a lot of excuses for Vonshae's behavior, and every time Amara would, condemn Vonshae's behavior, then Shay would start talking about how, Vonshae has a PhD, she has a child, she's married, she's doing well in life, and my thing is that doesn't have anything to do with her character though. Vonshae needs to learn how to communicate better because if she was upset at the fact that Amara pulled away from their friendship when she needed her the most, she could have communicated that without getting physical with Amara. I don't think that it had to go that far. And for that reason, I feel like Vonshae probably never really liked Amara to begin with. Is Amara sometimes not a very good friend because she's not really emotionally available for them? Yeah, I do think that Amara could work on that. But Vonshae needs to work on how she communicates and how she handles how she feels because she should not be flipping out every time she sees Amara when they weren't even friends for that long. Now, because Princess heard Amara and Shay arguing, she goes over there to try to calm things down and be the mediator, and she was able to get them to calm down, and Shay decided to invite Amara to her event that she's doing, and Amara is skeptical about going because she knows that Vonshae is going to be there, but she tells Shay that she'll go anyway. Vonshae is scrolling through social media and she gets really upset when she sees all the pictures from Suki event because she was not invited to it. The thing about it is that she only wanted to go not to support Suki, but because she said that she wanted to expose Amara. According to Vonshae, somebody ended up sending her a screenshot of Amara putting laughing emojis underneath a comment that was really distasteful about her daughter's surgery, which is really disgusting. The comment was really distasteful, and I don't understand why Amara would do something like that. My thing is, anybody can edit this though, so I don't know if it's true. I don't know if Amara really did do this. If she did put laughing emojis underneath this comment, that was really low. Even if she doesn't like Vonshae, I don't think that she should be laughing about a comment that has to do with something negative about Vonshae's daughter. But I do think that Vonshae should make sure that it's real before she starts trying to expose Amara and destroy her character. I think she should find out if it's true, because honestly, I really do not know. Flo sits down with Claudia to have a conversation about how upset she is about the way that the conversation went with her mom in the previous episode. She ended up telling her mother that Claudia and her are in a relationship, and although her mom said that Flo can date whoever she wants, she still doesn't approve of her being with Claudia, and she really does want Flo to stay in her marriage with Marlon. Now, although I can understand that Flo's mother is old school and she was raised a certain type of way where you stay in your marriage whether it's unhappy or not, I still don't think that she should want that for her daughter, and I think that she should support Flo's decision to end the marriage to Marlon. I mean, come on now, he cheated on her numerous amounts of times, especially cheating on her with her sister. Like, that's crossing the line. So I think that she should support Flo in ending that marriage. I also feel like Flo should not care too much about what her family thinks about the decisions that she makes, because they seem to be way too involved in her life, and they seem to think that she has to think of them every single time she makes a decision, and I just don't think that that's fair. Now, Flo ends up inviting Gael over because she wants her and Claudia to work things out, because she didn't like that they got into a fight in front of her mother in the previous episode, and Claudia did let Gael know that she understands that Gael doesn't like her and that she's skeptical of her, but that because they have to be around each other because of Flo, she feels like they should be cordial with one another, and Gael agrees, which I like the way that they handled this situation. I think that they handled it well. I think that they were able to come to an agreement that they're not going to beef with each other anymore because it's just stressing Flo out, and at the end of the day, the beef between the two of them isn't really going anywhere, so I do think that they were mature when it came to this situation. Flo ends up telling them that she's still really upset with Trina for not showing up at the festival to do the performance. She did get paid for it, according to Flo, but that she didn't give Flo her money back because she didn't end up showing up. So obviously, if she did really get paid for it, she should give the money back to Flo, because if she didn't show up, she doesn't deserve to get paid. But at the same time, I do think that it was kind of a mistake for Flo to, open up about this to Claudia and Gael, because they seem to cause a scene every time they go to an event with Flo, and at the end of the day, that's just not good for business when it comes to her, because she's going to look like she's a problem, and nobody's going to want to work with her. And although during this conversation, she did end up telling Gael and Claudia that she does want to have a one-on-one conversation with Trina to figure out what went down with the whole festival situation, she did say that she was going to choose her words wisely, because in Miami, Trina is really respected and she doesn't want to cross her. Now, Amara and Safari hang out in this episode, and they seem to be in a really good place after they talked in the previous episode, and she ends up opening up to him about being invited to Shay's event. She said that although she does want to support Shay because Shay was always her friend, she does feel some disconnect between the two of them, and because Shay is such close friends with Vonshae, even though she keeps on attacking her, she feels some type of way about Shay now, which I said was going to end up happening, and so she did end up telling Safari that she really doesn't want to go to Shay's event. And even though Safari told Amara that he's going to the event and that she can come with him and he'll make sure that she's good, she decided that she wasn't going to go because she wanted to take a break from both Shay and Vonshae. And honestly, I think that Amara made the right decision considering what ends up happening at that event, but also because at the end of the day, if you need space from people because they're bringing too much drama and toxicity into your life, I think she did the right thing for her. Zoe is filming the music video for the song that she did with Sukiyana, and she's getting a little bit nervous because Sukiyana hasn't shown up yet and they're almost done filming the music video. Now, she does understand that Sukiyana is a little bit busy, so she is trying to give her the benefit of the doubt, but it is making her feel uneasy that Suki hasn't shown up yet. Super Cindy ends up showing up to support Zoe, and she tells her how proud she is of her and tells her that because she made out with Trina, she wants to put her back on the Queen's project. Zoe had gotten taken off the Queen's project because she got into it with Joy, who is Trina's cousin, and because Trina is a part of the Queen's project, Super Cindy thought that it was best for business to take Zoe off of the project. But now that Zoe and Trina worked things out, now she wants to put her back on there. Now, although I do think that it's good that she's back on the project again, I do think that it was messed up for Super Cindy to take her off the project to begin with, because Joy didn't have anything to do with the project in the first place. Now, when Zoe ends up telling Super Cindy that she's still waiting for Sukiana to show up so that they can finish filming the music video, that's when Super Cindy ends up pulling out a bunch of videos of Sukiana partying in Atlanta with some famous people, and this really hurt Zoe's feelings because not only was Sukiana supposed to be there with her filming the music video because Sukiana said that she would, but Sukiana also hasn't been communicating with Zoe, because honestly, if Suki was going to be in Atlanta, she should have told Zoe this so that Zoe wouldn't have did the music video yet. And then on top of that, it's like, if Suki doesn't want to do the music video with Zoe, just say that. Like, I hate when people just don't answer you or don't show up or don't tell you what's up. They just don't show up and ignore you. I think that's really messy, and I think that it's distasteful. And on top of that, she just hasn't been communicating with anybody effectively this season so far, so I can understand why Zoe is upset. And now I feel like there's going to be some beef between Zoe and Suki. Trina, Bobby, and Joy are at Magic Mondays, and that's when Flo, Claudia, and Gael end up showing up. Now, before they end up going inside to have this conversation with Trina, Flo does end up telling Gael and Claudia that she wants to have a peaceful conversation with Trina. She doesn't want it to turn into this whole big mess. My thing is, if Flo wanted to have a peaceful conversation with Trina, I think she should have left Claudia and Gael either in the car, or she shouldn't have brought them anyway, because at the end of the day, I do feel like Claudia and Gael try to sabotage Flo a lot with her career. They seem to make a big scene every time she's at an important event in front of important people, and so that's why I feel like she shouldn't have brought them. Now, everything is fine at first, and Flo and Trina are having a peaceful conversation, and Trina ends up telling Flo that the reason why she didn't make it to the festival was because Flo's team reached out to her team and told her the wrong time that she had to be at the festival, and so by the time she was going to get there, the festival was already over, and so that was the reason why she didn't end up showing up. Now, Claudia jumps into the conversation when she shouldn't have, and she starts telling Trina that if Trina knew she wasn't going to be able to make it, she should have communicated that with Flo. But Trina's comeback to Claudia saying this was that she didn't have Flo's number because they don't communicate with each other. They communicate through their teams because they're just doing business together. Now, I can definitely understand where Trina's coming from. If all they're doing is business together and they're not friends, then that makes sense that they're communicating through their teams. And if Flo's team told her the wrong time that she had to be at the event, then Flo should take it up with her team. But I do think that Trina's team should have communicated with Flo's team the day of the festival to let her know in advance that she wasn't going to be able to make it because they gave her the wrong time and there was a lot of traffic. I do feel like their teams could have communicated a lot better. And so I do feel like, they're having a peaceful conversation, but I think Claudia should have stayed out of it. At this point, Trina and Claudia are having a back and forth because Claudia didn't like what Trina had to say, so they're going back and forth with each other. And now Gael ends up jumping into the conversation and she starts yelling at Trina, telling Trina that she ran off with her sister's money. And that's when Trina gets really pissed off because she doesn't need anybody's money. I don't think that she needs Flo's money, so I don't understand why Gael said what she said. And Trina ended up getting on the microphone and she goes off on Gael. She tells Gael that she has no reason to be coming at her about Flo when she slept with Flo's husband. And that's the absolute truth. I don't even think that Gael is there to even really defend Flo. I think that she's there because she wanted to sabotage Flo from being able to make it as big as she wants to make it to and work with all these big stars that she wants to work with. I feel like that's the real reason why Gael was there and she was going off the way that she was. I truly do feel like Flo should have went there by herself to have the conversation with Trina. It's the day of Shay's event, and she said that she literally invited everyone from Amara and Vonshae to her boyfriend, Mama D, and her mother and brother, which I think was a really bad idea because she had to have known that there was going to be a lot of drama. Now, Vonshae ends up going up to Safari because she doesn't see Amara with him, and she starts questioning him about whether Amara is coming or not, and he tells Vonshae that he doesn't know where Amara is, even though he knows for a fact that Amara is not coming because she told him earlier in the episode that she wasn't. But I do think that he did the right thing by not telling Vonshae any information. Although if she was, trying to fight my girlfriend every single time she saw her, I honestly wouldn't have even talked to Vonshae at the event. I really do think that Safari shouldn't have even had a conversation with Vonshae at all. Now, Shay also ends up going up to Safari to ask him where Amara is, and he tells her that Amara's not coming, and she said that she wasn't surprised that Amara didn't show up. She really wanted her to be there, but she knew that she wouldn't come because of Vonshae, and so I respect the fact that Shay didn't get upset that Amara wasn't there. Now, Vonshae gets so pissed off that Amara didn't show up to the event that she goes on stage, grabs the microphone, and she starts speaking to everybody at the event. Now, at first, she wasn't saying anything too bad. She was just talking about her daughter's open heart surgery and how much Shay was there for her. But then she starts taking the time to go in on Amara, which I really thought was uncomfortable to watch because I don't understand why you would do this at your friend's event, trying to make it a messy situation when it's supposed to be about her business. It just didn't make any sense to me, and I was truly surprised that Shay didn't go up to Vonshae and make her leave the event because that's what I would have done. Vonshae starts calling Amara all types of bitches and tells everyone there that Amara wasn't there for her when she needed her the most. And then she starts talking about how she found out some very disturbing information about Amara that she wants to expose, and she calls Safari up to the stage. Now, I really don't even understand why Safari went up there when Vonshae called him up there, because at the end of the day, he's supposed to have loyalty to Amara, so I don't understand why he did what Vonshae was telling him to do. But she ended up handing him her phone that has the comment that Amara allegedly commented on with laughing emojis, and she tells Safari to read the comment out loud. Now, Safari is reading the comment quietly in his head at first, and he seems to be really shocked. It seems like his mouth drops because he sees what Amara commented underneath the disturbing comment, and so he seems to be like really surprised that Amara would do something like that. And then he ends up reading the comment out loud, and everybody seems shocked. Everybody's gasping and being dramatic. Now, don't get me wrong, the comment was really distasteful, and it was even more distasteful for Amara to put the laughing emojis underneath it, if she really did, but I thought that it was really distasteful of Safari to even read the comment out loud. At this point, Safari, MJ, and Shay end up going outside, and they're all really shocked at what they read and what they saw that Amara ended up writing underneath that disgusting comment about Vonshae's daughter's surgery. And, you know, Safari's sitting there questioning whether or not Amara really did this, but I honestly felt like he should have had Amara's back a little bit more. I don't even think that he should have read the comment out loud. As soon as he saw it on the phone, I think that he should have handed the phone back to Vonshae, because at the end of the day, if she wants to expose Amara, she needs to do it herself and stop trying to involve other people in her drama. Because my thing is, I'm starting to get very narcissistic vibes from Vonshae, because she seems like the type of person who, when somebody doesn't want to be her friend anymore, or you don't want to deal with her anymore, she's gonna go out of her way to destroy your character to everybody and make everybody else hate you, because now she hates you because you don't want to be around her anymore. Don't get me wrong, she does have a reason to be upset if Amara really did make that comment, but at the end of the day, she doesn't have proof that Amara actually did it. And if there is proof that Amara actually did it, then I think that Amara deserves whatever she gets after that from Vonshae. But at the end of the day, I just feel like Vonshae is doing too much. She seems really miserable to me, because I just don't feel like somebody who was, you know, in the right state of mind would even want to do something like that, especially at her friend's event. Safari ends up deciding to leave because now he's questioning who, you know, Amara really is and what type of person she actually is. And so now Shay is also questioning the type of person that Amara is. I think everybody is kind of turned off by Amara now, who was at the event, because of what Vonshae ended up doing. Now, Mama D was invited to this event despite the fact that Shay cut her off a few episodes ago because she really made a distasteful comment to her and Fabo. She basically said that she wanted Shay's baby to be her son's baby and not Fabo's, and that really pissed him off, which he did have a reason to be upset about that, because I don't understand why Mama D would say something like that. But I did think that he was being a little bit too mean at this event, because Mama D did go up to him and she tried to apologize. And I'm not saying that he had to accept her apology, because let's be clear, he did not accept her apology. I don't think he has to accept her apology, but he definitely did tell Mama D that she's not allowed to be around his daughter anymore. And that really upset Mama D to the point where she fake passed out. I mean, she fell out on the floor and passed out for fake, like it wasn't even real. Shay ended up coming over there and she's telling Mama D to get up because she she knows she's playing games, and Mama D ends up getting off the floor. She's fanning herself like a fool. She's talking about she needs to go to the hospital and how she wants to be a part of the baby's life. It's like, girl, are you acting that dramatic about being around your real grandchildren? Because I don't see her acting like that when it comes to the kids that, you know, Scrappy has with, you know, Bambi. Now, because of all the drama that went down at Shay's event, she decided to shut the event down. And as her and Fable are leaving with the baby, that's when Shay's mother and her brother end up going up to them. And Shay's mother decided early on in this episode that she was going to try to make peace with Fable, only because she wanted to be involved in her grandchild's life and her daughter's life, and she felt like accepting Fable is the only way that she'd be able to do it. She ended up going up to Fable and telling him that she wants him to be a part of the family and that she really wants to start off clean and have a clean slate. But Fable didn't seem interested in doing that. He was actually being rude to Shay's mother. She was trying to clear the air and try to, you know, work things out, and he seemed to be worried about the way that she was wording things. He kept trying to correct her words and change what she was trying to say. And this really started to piss off Shay because she was able to see the way that Fable was treating her mother right in front of her face. And so she gets so pissed off that she tells her mother and her brother to just leave because it's not working out. And then she ends up getting into a really big argument with Fable as they're leaving. She tells him that he needs to stop speaking to her mother the way that he's speaking to her, and that just because he doesn't like her mother doesn't mean that she's not the grandmother to their child. And he seemed to not even care about what she had to say. He seemed to not be listening. It seemed to be going into one ear and out the other. I just don't feel like they should be together. I just feel like he's not right for Shay. He's too mean. He doesn't care what she thinks or how she feels from what we're able to see. And I just feel like he's more drama than what she needs. So I honestly feel like they should end things. So those are my thoughts on this week's episode of Love and Hip Hop Miami. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comment section. Don't forget to hit the like button for me. I appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos and hit the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed to my channel. I appreciate you all. And until next time, I will talk to you guys in my next video.